Look at this old teddy bear I found. Do you know why toy bears are called Teddy? They were named for a very important man, Theodore Roosevelt, or Teddy Roosevelt, as he was often called. In the year 1902, a picture was taken of Teddy Roosevelt holding a little cub bear whose life he had saved while he was on a hunting trip. And because he was so famous, many people saw the picture, and soon toy makers began making little stuffed bears that they called teddy bears. Today we're going to learn something about this man, Theodore Roosevelt. His son, Quentin, would like to tell you the story.
I'm Quentin, and here's my brother Archie, and here's Father. There's just one thing bad about Father. He's President of the United States. That means he has to live in the White House. And all the rest of us, Mother, Alice, Ted, Kermit, Ethel, Archie, and me, we all have to live there too. There's one thing Archie and I can't understand about Father. I mean, Father could have been a boxer or a wrestler. He can even do jiu-jitsu. Mother says he could have headed the police force in New York City forever if he had wanted to. Our brother Ted says Father could have kept on being a cowboy on his ranch in the West. Father could have been general. Our sister Alice says Father was a brave soldier and helped win a war in Cuba. And Father could have been a hunter. Our brother Kermit says Father knows how to catch wildcats and bears. Now, if Father can do all these things, what Archie and I would like to know is how come he'd rather be president? Being president can practically ruin your whole life. Presidents have to shake hands with congressmen. They have to tell jokes to policemen. They have to make a lot of speeches. And they have to have dinner with lots of foreign princes. Archie and I don't get to see half enough of Father. Father feels pretty bad about it, too. He lets us come to his office every afternoon at 4, and for an hour or so, he does whatever we want him to do. Sometimes Father draws a map for us with his umbrella and tells us all about the war. He shows us where the Russians and the Japanese are fighting each other. Then we play that Archie is Russian and I am Japanese. I always get to win because the Japanese are beating the Russians. That's what Father says. He's trying to get them to stop fighting. Sometimes we visit our blue parrot, Eli Yale. Sometimes when Father rides his horse, he lets Archie and me take turns riding our pony, Algonquin. Algonquin has a soft nose. Charlie Lee takes care of him. Sometimes we visit our other pets. We say hello to our white guinea pigs, to our hens, and to Josiah, the badger. Father brought Josiah home from one of his hunting trips. Josiah likes milk and potatoes. Sometimes we feed the dogs, Cuba and Skip and Jack and the sailor boy. And that's all the pets we have. Oh, except for 2 rats, the turtle, a flying squirrel, and a kitten. We like to have Father around, but Mother says we have to let Father have a few hours to himself every day, or he will never be able to run the country. So Archie and I find stuff to do. But when you live in the White House, you have to be careful. Things don't really belong to you. Nearly everything is government property. Suppose you're having a race in the hall with your dog. Suppose your hand goes through a picture. It's Mrs. Benjamin Harrison, wife of the 23rd president, and that picture is government property. And nobody likes it when you slide downstairs on tin trays. Father shouts.
By Godfrey, don't you bunnies know how dangerous that could be? Suppose some senator got hurt.
Suppose you and Archie are having a stilt race on the lawn, and you happen to run through a flower bed. Here come the Secret Service men and the White House police. You have to get right out of that flower bed. It's government property, too. If Father catches you putting spitballs on Andrew Jackson's picture, he gets mad. Andrew Jackson was the 7th president. He's government property, too. You can't even visit your brother when he's sick. When Archie had the measles, he was upstairs in his bedroom. He hadn't seen Algonquin for weeks. So I went to Charlie Lee, and we sneaked Algonquin into the basement, past the White House police. We rang for the freight elevator, then we all got on. Charlie Lee and I had to push Algonquin. We all went upstairs and had a long visit with Archie. It cheered him up a lot. But the minute Father found out, he sent Algonquin right back to the stable.
By Godfrey, Quentin, how can you be such a muttonhead? It's preposterous. You know perfectly well you can't bring a pony into the White House on the freight elevator. It's government property.
Archie and I have much more fun in the summer at our house at Oyster Bay. Nothing is government property there. Our big brothers, Ted and Kermit, are home from school. Sometimes our big sister, Alice, is there too. Alice loves to speed. She races her car along at 25 miles an hour. Alice has her picture in the paper practically every day. Someone once asked Father why he didn't do something about Alice. Father said,
I can do one of two things. I can be president of the United States, or I can control Alice. I cannot possibly do both.
This summer, Archie and I are helping Father run things. This way, we may get to see more of Father. If the Russians and the Japanese would quit fighting, Father would be pleased as punch, and so would we. Father sent a telegram to Russia, asking them to stop fighting. He sent another telegram to Japan, asking them to stop fighting too. Soon after that, a big ship came to Oyster Bay. 2 Russians got off. They wanted to see Father about ending the war. Archie and I were waiting for them on the dock. We pretended we were fishing, but we were watching every move they made. And we reported their arrival to Father. We knew some Japanese gentlemen were coming too. So Archie and I hung around town and hitched a ride home with them. Then we reported their arrival to Father. The peace talks are coming along quite nicely, thanks to Archie and me. But Archie and Father and I don't have to work every day trying to end the war. Sometimes we take a day off and play. We put our bathing suits on and go down to the float. We play a game called Stagecoach. And here's how it goes. Mother is the driver, Father is a horse. I'm the whip, Archie is the guard, Cousin Nick is the wildcat, Ethel is the old lady passenger, Cousin Lorraine is the left rear wheel. Then Father starts telling the story. And when he says your name, you have to jump into the water. And when he says Stagecoach, just watch what happens.
All right, everybody, here goes. We're traveling along at a fast clip. The driver is cracking the whip when all at once the old lady passenger calls to the guard, she's seen a wildcat. The horse rears up when he sees the wildcat, and the left rear wheel is smashed. Then over the cliff crashes the stagecoach.
And when Father says Stagecoach, every one of us is in the water. Sometimes Father goes camping overnight with Ted and Kermit. When Archie and I are bigger, Father says we can go too. Father knows where the raccoons live. He knows the songs of all the birds and the names of all the flowers. The Russians and the Japanese came back again. Father asked them to shake hands, and they sailed away to make peace. Archie and I were in the father's study when suddenly the telephone rang.
What's that?
Then Father called to Mother.
Edie, they've made peace. The war is over. A mighty good thing for Russia, and a mighty good thing for Japan, and a mighty good thing for us, too.
So all afternoon, Father and Archie and I have been opening telegrams from kings and emperors and people all over the world. They're all saying thank you to Father for stopping the war. Well, the war's over. Summer's over, too. Ted and Kermit have gone back to school. Mother and Ethel and Archie and I are back in the White House with Father. Mother says Father is planning to go to Panama to build a canal. Archie and I are waiting for Father to come in and play with us before we go to sleep. Sometimes we play that Father is the hunter, and we're bears. Father tries to paw us out from under our beds. Sometimes he reads us a poem. One of his favorites is,
Pillikin, Willikin, Winky Wee, how does the president take his tea? He takes it in bed, he takes it in school, he takes it in Congress against the rule. He takes it with brandy and thinks it no sin. Old Punky Doodle and Jollopin.
Then Father tosses me on top of Archie, and he tickles both of us. And then bang, I hit Father with a pillow, and plop, Archie hits him with another, and a first-rate pillow fight begins. Mother comes in dressed for dinner.
Theodore, we will be late if we don't go down at once.
Why, Edie? Quentin here and Archie and I.
Theodore, you've rumpled your shirt. You'll have to change it.
Then Mother and Father kiss us goodnight and turn out the lights. Archie and I get under the covers, and we talk about what we're going to be when we grow up. Archie says maybe he will be a general, or a cowboy, or a policeman, but not me. I've thought it over. When I grow up, I'd like to be a plain man with bunnies like Father.
And that was The One Bad Thing About Father by F.N. Mongeau. Teddy Roosevelt is just one of many, many Americans who helped to make this country what it is today. The United States is one of the strongest, most powerful countries in the world. Oh, but more important, it's a wonderful and exciting place to live. I hope the stories we've shared have helped you to understand your country. And I hope you will go right on your own, finding books to help you learn even more about the United States of America. Goodbye.
The preceding program was made possible by a grant from the Ohio Department of Education.